On the 20th of March 2007, a very special event took place in Leeds. Over 90 people gathered that day to celebrate the end of the first year of the Leeds Partnership for Older People programme. This initiative is part of the Department of Health-run Partnerships for Older People's projects, known as POPP. The Leeds programme focuses specifically on the development and improvement of older people's mental health services across the city, part of a whole system redesign that the POPP's money has helped to kickstart. The Leeds programme is the largest of the 29 pilot sites nationally.
Leeds POPP is a partnership between Leeds City Council,
The local NHS trusts,
the independent sector,
older people and their carers. The aims of the day were to celebrate the achievements of the first year and to highlight the learning so far.
It's the first time that all the POPP's projects in Leeds have actually been together. So we've got frontline staff, we've got board members, we've got the project leads, we've got programme team, senior managers across health and social care. We've had elected members of Councillor Harrand, the Department of Health and service users and carers, which is fantastic to have everybody all together to celebrate what we've achieved so far.
The 12 projects within Leeds POPP can be grouped into 3 broad themes: earlier intervention, intermediate care and workforce development. Annie, a fictional character based on real-life scenarios, represents many individuals who have benefited from the new service pathways that the Leeds programme has developed. Annie is 69 years old and lives at home on her own, but supported by her daughter, who works full-time. Annie has memory loss. Services have been developed to offer earlier intervention to prevent older people like Annie from needing statutory provision or larger packages of care.
And basically we're providing community-based support for older people, mainly over 65, with mental health support needs. And we try and keep people connected to the communities rather than channel them towards necessarily the statutory services, and we work to the person's strengths.
An important factor in the success of the support offered by the Home Support Service is the ability to remain involved for longer periods of time.
Perfect. Rather than going into somebody and just saying we have half an hour to be able to do a set task, we will work with what service users can manage to do for themselves and try and promote and support them in doing those tasks.
Older people with mental health problems may have housing-related difficulties, and the Home Support Service helps these people within some multi-ethnic areas of the city.
She was lonely, she wanted somebody to talk to. She doesn't understand a word of English, and so, she felt as though because I could speak the same language and was of the same sort of cultural background, she would benefit from me visiting her, and she's had someone to communicate with.
1/3 of people who care for an older person with dementia will have depression.
Annie fell whilst at home and was admitted to hospital with a fractured neck of femur requiring surgery. Whilst in hospital, she became confused and disorientated, displaying typical symptoms of delirium.
Delirium is 5 times more common in older people who have dementia.
The hospital mental health team for older people were called in to advise.
The hospital mental health team for older people are able to provide comprehensive assessment, management and treatment plans for people who are over 65 years of age on the general hospital wards.
Well, when we go to the wards, we do a comprehensive assessment, mental health assessment of the person that we've been asked to see. We contact families, other agencies that might have been involved before they're admitted to hospital.
If previously there was just a psychiatrist or some psychiatry input, and now we've got a really diverse team with lots of different levels of expertise.
On average, delirium doubles the length of stay in hospital.
Intermediate care services aim to prevent unnecessary admission into hospital, support timely discharge, and provide rehabilitation and confidence building to older people with mental health needs.
People that have been in hospital that would have ordinarily stayed in hospital without the support that we're providing with the POPP project have actually been given a second chance to regain the skills that they used to have and to live longer into the community if they choose to do so.
The hospital mental health team for older people diagnosed Annie with dementia and delirium and advised on treatment and management. Annie was discharged from hospital into a community intermediate care bed with therapists and a registered mental nurse to advise and work with staff.
Whilst people are receiving services, they're being given opportunities to tell us about their experiences of those services. In the resource centres, people with dementia are making audio and video diaries.
But nevertheless, it's been an interesting day.
Annie was introduced to an outreach worker based in the attached day centre who built up a positive relationship. The worker ensured that Annie's daughter was involved at every step.
I can continue the relationship that I've built up with the client in his own surroundings where he feels really comfortable.
5 weeks later, when Annie was back at home, the outreach worker was still involved. She introduced Annie to local community resources, including the Leeds branch of the Alzheimer's Society and the local dementia cafe.
Within the cafes, people gain peer support and an interdisciplinary team of staff offer advice and information. Choice, independence and control are core values, and our customers are encouraged to be involved in the running and development of the cafes.
Leeds currently has 8 dementia cafes operating within the network, with 3 more planned.
Annie has agreed that she could benefit from the involvement of the community support team. They continue to assess her and enable her to regain lost skills and confidence. Annie continues to live at home with support.
We're able to do a detailed assessment of what is actually needed for that individual, and also it's nice for carers to know that they have got some support as well.
At the beginning of their involvement with Annie, the community support team were providing an average 21 hours of support per week. By the end, this had reduced to 7 hours.